well, listen, nobody can respond right now. So look them in the camera, ask the major questions or questions that you have.
You see, there's still an even angst. I'm a little bit even afraid just to even ask like if he's actually my father. That part, I'm afraid that.
So there's a paternity doubt in your head.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what else? What other questions do you have, man? Get it out.
Do you all actually love me? That's the question. I watch how my parents interact with my brothers and my sisters, and the way they interact with me is not the same. And I feel like that might be a major reason why it's hard for me to actually connect with people.
Okay. How does that make you feel, man?
It does a lot. Makes me question.
Listen. You don't have to hold your wall up with me, man. How does it really make you feel?
A lot of times, angry, pissed off. But it makes me question my place in life right now. I really question whether I'm really supposed to be here.
You're supposed to be here, man. Let me tell you that right now. Okay. What's up, YouTube? Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Listen, if you want to support the channel financially, hit the super thanks button. Any amount is much appreciated. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got my man out here today. How you doing today, man?
I'm all right, yes, sir.
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for asking. So are you homeless?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So how old are you?
I'm 31.
31. And so how long have you been homeless?
For the past 3 years.
Past 3 years? Okay. And so are we talking on and off, or are we talking 3 straight years?
On and off for the past 3 years.
Okay. And so when was the last time you had like a roof over your head?
Actually, it was maybe a month ago. Mentally, I wasn't ready to get back into an enclosed environment.
Okay. So what happened? I mean, where were you at?
I was in the evolution program with Gateway.
Okay, Gateway here in Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so you got into the program, and what happened? Was that like a roommate situation, or was it your own?
It's a fallout shelter, so it was just, I'm used to being by myself a lot and to be around so many people.
You was in the shelter at Gateway, basically?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you was around a bunch of people?
Yes, sir.
And so you say you couldn't handle that?
Yeah, you know, amidst like a lot of things going on, and then with COVID and just being around a lot of different personalities and different mental.
Well, I mean, especially down there at Gateway, man. You know, there's a lot of mental health folks, a lot of stuff going on down there.
Yes.
And so you're saying that, how long were you able to stay there before you left?
I was there for maybe 2 weeks.
Okay, and did you leave on your own, or were you kicked out?
I didn't live on my own.
Okay, so you just dipped out.
Yeah, I'm in the midst of looking for counseling to ease myself so I can actually get back into work and be able to hold a job.
Okay, and so did they help you find counseling or no?
The amount of resources they have, it was the process in which they're doing so just didn't move as quick as I did.
I get it. So you needed it kind of ASAP, and it was moving a little slow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Do you have any kids?
No, well, my students are my kids. I used to be a teacher.
A teacher?
Yes, sir.
What grade?
Really was age 3 and up. I was a dance education and physical fitness.
You was a what education?
Dance education and dance performance and physical fitness. I had a couple of strokes a few years ago. They put me out of school in Miami, and I did my own recovery. And in the midst of that, trying to get back into society from rehabilitating myself,
right.
COVID hit, and that kind of just knocked me back into a corner.
What age were you when you had the strokes?
25.
It was about 6 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you say you was teaching dance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Have you ever been married?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. All right, so let's start from the beginning, man. So where are you from?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Man, shout out Jacksonville,
Duval.
man. Duval. Hey, man, I love it. I love it. My parents actually thinking about moving to Jacksonville, man. All right, so okay, so you grew up in Jacksonville. Growing up there, did you have both your mom and your dad in the household?
No, sir.
Okay, who'd you grow up with?
I've been back and forth between my mom and my father. My father is military. My mother, they're from upstate in New York and New Jersey.
Okay.
And,
hey, how you doing?
Yeah, just kind of been back and forth between the two. I call myself a village baby.
So wait, so you was going back and forth between New York and where?
In Jacksonville. I call myself a village baby. I stayed on every side of town in the city. My mother, she's worked really hard to get herself out of poverty. She has her own business now, and she's been trying to, get herself up. She finally moved up into a new tax bracket.
So she still lives in Florida, in Jacksonville?
Yes, sir.
And you say she's doing well now?
Yeah, she's doing a lot better than she used to be. She's a single parent. She's had 6 boys. My 2 little brothers are with her, and I try to communicate and help her out as much as I can.
And so, where were you in the birth order?
Say it again?
So she had 6 boys, right?
Yeah.
Were those all the kids she had?
Yes, I'm number 2.
Okay, so you was the second oldest?
Yes, sir.
Does she still have minor kids?
Yes, she do. The youngest is 16.
16? Okay. How many different dads?
5.
5 different dads?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And so, as far as it goes, I mean, would you say you spent more time growing up with your mom or your dad?
Actually,
kind of like even split?
Yeah. I mean, the way in which I grew up, I still spend a lot of time by myself. I've been told a few years ago that I have autism, and I'm not so much accepting of it. But when I did go speak to my mom about it, and my grandmother, they did go like, "Oh, that kind of makes sense." And the way that my brothers and my sisters kind of like interact with me, and now being out here on my own.
How do they interact with you?
As everyone said, I have my own language, and they spend a lot of time trying to explain to me social cues and stuff from other people, because I think it's kind of hard to understand.
I get it.
From other people. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so, growing up, I mean, would you say that you had a fairly normal childhood?
In an urban community, I would say fairly normal in terms of how we've had to kind of grow up. It's a hard lifestyle. The community, I guess, not even just sitting there kind of talking, it makes sense that they wouldn't allow me to be a part of certain activities. They always kind of push off to the side. I spent a lot of time in my head in the book, which is kind of where they always kind of steered me at. Just, I guess you can kind of tell when something isn't for somebody.
Right.
And
so basically, they kind of kept you away from the street, the more rougher sides of where you was and the people that you was growing up around.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Okay. Did you go to high school?
Yes.
You graduated?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Any college?
Yes. I have 3 years of college. Which the strokes actually was what pulled me out of school. I had 2 strokes on the very first day of senior year.
Wow. So why do you think those strokes occurred, man?
I actually haven't got the neurology report back. I know it was a lot of stress around that time. I had things with my roommates. Trump was running for office during that moment. It was a lot. Plus, and I was in Miami during that moment. So there was a lot of other things that are happening with immigrants trying to come in. It was a whole lot.
What was going on with your roommate?
I was upper class and they were freshmen, and they left without paying rent, and they had to take on a $1,200 rent by myself. As a college student, when you're in school, it's hard to get a job unless you're working.
Was this a male roommate?
Yeah, it was the first female roommate came in that year, but usually it was all men.
Okay.
In Miami, it's a very touristy place.
Right.
We finally found a house where the minorities can go to for good affordable rent, and not have to really stress that hard about where you're going to stay at.
Right.
So we were trying to keep it, and I was doing everything that I could to make sure we were going to keep that house. But we still ended up losing it.
Okay, all right. Okay, do you date men or women? Or both?
I date men.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. And so none of those roommates were romantic partners?
Well, previously, yes. But after that, no.
Okay, so that didn't play into the stress levels that you had going on at that time?
Previously, I almost allowed it to get to me, but just from what I remember growing up, I just stayed focused on school and stuff. So when all that was going on, I just allowed it to push where it is. And
what do you mean all that? What's going on?
In the gay community, it's a culture to be someone's secret, and for someone to present someone who they think society wants, and you have to like be someone in the background, almost like
so basically, like they were on the DL.
Yeah,
and so they were messing with you, but they was presenting themselves as heterosexual to the world.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how long did they do that for? With you?
For maybe a year. And
so you allowed that to go on for a year?
Yeah, and
Why do you think you allowed that for a year? Like, was it because you felt like no one else would take you, or?
Possibly. Becoming aware now, especially like living out here on the streets and going through certain situations, I realized that I was addicted to like abuse or just taking shit from anybody, just allowing myself to be treated any kind of way, and just kind of down to my grandmother said, you have to teach people how to try to treat you, and teach people how to love you. So sometimes what you accept from people becomes what you teach them, saying that I will accept it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And so that guy, did he have like a wife and kids and a girlfriend or anything like that?
He's dated other girls, and when we split, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to like, you know, shame you, because maybe that is what you want. Like I start working in entertainment. I know a lot of girls. I spend a lot of time around girls, so I can help you. And it just, I feel like a lot when it comes to like a lot of like battery and stuff. There are a lot of those dudes who are with women who beat on them is because it's not who they want. They're in a situation and you know that it projects out onto someone else. You're just pushing your own emotions.
So you say he was beating on women?
Not him per se, but
okay, but that's what guys may do.
Yeah.
Because they really want a man,
yeah,
but they're having to conform to society, and so they get upset about that and they take it out on women.
Yeah.
I get it.
They're punching bags. Like when I said, trying to find counsel, go find someone so you can feel comfortable with who you are.
Okay, so what made you come to Atlanta, man? How long have you been here?
I've been here for 2 months.
Okay, what made you come here?
When I was younger and I came, I saw so many different like variations of what black can be. And coming from Florida, where we only have the rappers, the basketball players, or you know, just there's only
basically there's only a few lanes that black people can comfortably be in society without people looking at you crazy.
Exactly, and here I feel like this is like black metropolis. You see
kind of the black mecca, man. Like you got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can kind of be a little more who you are,
yeah.
And be confident about it because you know there's going to be a tribe here in Atlanta for you. Okay, precisely. I get that, man. I get that. All right, man. And so, I mean, let me ask, you know, if your mom were to happen to come across this video on YouTube, or your dad, you know, I mean, I didn't ask much about your dad. Let me ask you that first. You know, what's your relationship like with your dad?
It's honestly, it's in the same boat with like my mom. I have a connection with him, but it's not as strong as it could be, especially being a black gay male growing up. And him being in the military, her coming from the hood, it's just...
They ain't really feeling that.
They weren't really feeling it. But now that I'm a lot older and they've seen the men that I've come out to be, it's changed their mind and perception of it. But there's a lot of growth and counsel that we all need to come into so that I can feel comfortable to ask certain questions about, you know, why certain things happen this way.
Well, I mean, well, listen, nobody can respond right now. So look them in the camera, ask the major questions or questions that you have.
You see, there's still an even angst. I'm a little bit even afraid just to even ask like if he's actually my father. That part, I'm afraid that.
So there's a paternity doubt in your head.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what else? What other questions do you have, man? Get it out.
Um, do you all actually love me? That's the question. I watch how my parents interact with my brothers and my sisters, and the way they interact with me is not the same. And I feel like that might be a major reason why it's hard for me to actually connect with people.
Okay. How does that make you feel, man?
It does a lot. Make me question.
Listen. You don't have to hold your wall up with me, man. How does it really make you feel?
A lot of times, angry, pissed off. But it just makes me question my place in life right now. I really question whether I'm really supposed to be here.
You're supposed to be here, man. Let me tell you that right now. Okay. All right, man. So listen, man. I mean, if your parents were to happen to come across this video on YouTube, man, what do you think their thoughts, their instincts, and their reactions would be?
Initially, you know, I feel like as parents, they'll go into that guardian mode and want to defend themselves. But
do you think that they love you?
I feel like the easy answer is yes.
But how do you honestly feel?
I mean, no. And it sucks to even say it, but that to meet a lot of orphans out here and to know that there are people who might be angry, but you can have your parents in your life and they'll do more damage when they're there than to be without them and have an opportunity to go and learn a whole lot more. Because like my brothers, they used to be mad at me because my father was in my life, but when I was living with my father, he never spoke to me.
So they don't even, they have their perspective that they think you had all this good stuff going on, but really it wasn't as good as what they thought.
And it wasn't good. It wasn't good like that at all.
Okay, man. All right, man. So I mean, I hear that you was in the house, you was in the program, and you couldn't quite handle it at that moment. What, if anything, are we doing at this point to try to get ourselves off the street and out of this position of homelessness?
Being bold enough now to even have this conversation, as my daughter says, I'm unpacking the emotional baggage so that I can make room for whatever God has to give me. You can't receive something with closed hands, so I'm trying to let go of these burdens.
Dude, you a preacher, man. You're preaching, man. I tell, I've said it on the last few videos. I don't know who I'm gonna walk up on. I don't know when. I just kind of follow this kind of gut instinct that I have. And I didn't even walk up on you. I was doing my other job, trying to talk to a lady and trying to get her with with some insurance, and here you were, man. And so, these things are divine, man. I'm starting to really feel that way about it.
Yeah, even just listening to her and talk about her.
Give me 1 second, boss man.
Yeah.
1 second.
Listening to her talk about not being able to get food stamps when she was raising her kids. My mother, she ended up having to pay back because she got too much food stamps. But at the same time, my mother and all of my brothers and our friends, they were always coming to our house.
Yeah, so I mean, so it's poor conditions, and she didn't need to have to pay that back because she actually needed that money.
Yeah, she fed not just me and my brothers, and at that time it was four of us. She fed the community, and then to know that she still had to spend time to pay all that money back.
Yeah, that kind of resonated with you.
Yeah,
I tell you, man. I tell you what. Well, listen, man, we really appreciate you, man, taking the time, answering all of our questions. If anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Yes, a Cash App, the Butterfly King of Prod, BUTTERFLYKINGPROD, and if you go to Facebook, I'm Project Guru, PROGEKKGURU 28.
So
on
it's
Facebook.
PROGG, not JJ.
PROGEKK.
Okay, GEKK. Okay, I get it. Okay, Project Guru, and then the
28. Project Guru 28.
28. That's on Facebook.
Yes.
And the Cash App was the Butterfly, or was it just Butterfly?
Butterfly King Production.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
Pride, but not production.
I get it. Hey man, well listen, man, we really appreciate you taking the time, sharing your story with us, man. And we definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, okay?
Yes, thank you.
No doubt, man. Make sure you have a good one.